Back in September, I did an initial review of the Walther Rotex RM8 Black. We looked at the initial cost of the rifle and the bits and bobs that come with it. We reviewed the overall quality of the rifle's design, ergonomics and the aesthetics, as well as some targets and initial chronograph deliveries you should expect from this rifle out the box. We already know that the key sales area of the rifle are based on its solid accuracy, its low cost and above average build quality, and let's face it, it's not just me saying it, it's well documented that this rifle does do that, and with some shopping around for the quoted costs. Today we're looking at what this rifle is like to live with after the honeymoon period. Fondly nicknamed the Hog due to its lovely and somewhat large lumps and bumps, this rifle has proved more than capable in the field. In fact, it's been so capable, the quarry ratio is 10 from 10 over 2 outings. And as winter sets in and ranges close up a bit, it'll be the weapon of choice for close quarter offhand free shots under 40 yards while skulking around my permission. Cost. There are several rifles that can compete with the RM8 in the £400 to £450 market, but from my research and experience and feedback from other owners, they compromise on one of the cost, quality and delivery areas too much to buy over the RM8. For example, BSA's Ultra SE Tactical Multishot PCP. For £465, what's not to like about that title? Nothing. It's light, compact and carries 10 shots in the magazine. It's also very accurate, but it's only got around 40 shots per fill versus the RM8's 150 plus shot count. For me that matters, it's always going to be in the back of my mind if a cracking out and presents itself. Brocock's Concept Super 6 Multi-Shot, £399 from Solware. Okay, this is a close match and probably lighter and certainly a shortlist contender with the Viroc barrel and traditional styling, but it's a 6-shot mag and that's worse than the compromise of 8 shots from the RM8. In fact, it'd have me worried in the field as my 4th target, and that matters to me because I don't like carrying spare lead and tins. Hatsan's AT-44 is just too big and bulky for me, but is just as capable. The rest of the rifles in this price bracket at the time of purchase lacked in technology, so the RM8 is the one I keep coming back to. So as mentioned, at £400 to £450, it's cheap to begin with. Looking at the long-term running costs of the RM8 then, for those who follow the 2.2 pellet reviews, you'll be more than aware that this rifle is not particularly pellet fussy across brands. To date, the relatively cheap RWS Superfield print acceptable 27mm groups outdoors at 40 yards. From our calibration data, this range is around the limit for confident hunting with the RM8. Proof we can use this pellet and this rifle for hunting. Therefore, you're looking at around £8 for 500 shots. Although it's a Springer, in contrast, my 2.2 Remington Express AR1 only likes high-end JSB manufactured pellets, generally costing around the £11 mark. That's a £3 saving per tin. So, say you shoot 100 tins over the life of the rifle, that's a £300 saving. In reality, I use Daystate Rangemaster Sovereigns in the Remy, costing me £13 a tin. If you do the math over 100 tins and throw in the cost of the rifle, you're looking at £1,450. Use the £8 RWS in the RM8 and run the same calcs and you're looking at £1,250. That spare £200 buys a Hills pump for £170. You're still £30 off better off then with the Rotex Black and £80 better off with a Beach Rotex over a Springer. Dare I say it, there are cheaper pellets that may be just as accurate in the RM8 due to this barrel being so accommodating, but this cost saving is only increased. Keep watching those 2.2 pellet reviews. Quality. The RM8 is the higher weapon of choice for a local indoor range, with the rifles constantly used for well over 18 months now. They never seem to fail and the staff reinforce this, unless they're mishandled, which the rifle can't be blamed for. This speaks volumes about the long-term quality of the RM8 for me. This is also noted when you remove the stock and view the business part itself. The level of quality in the design here is beyond question. Let's not forget that even some HW100s are not without an occasional leak. And a browse through several forums has me on the fence of calling even Stevens for the ones that make the negative threads on the forums against other manufacturers. The sculpting of the stock feels great to me and always fires me up to get out there with it. The ergonomics are very good. And what's more, the safety is perfectly placed and designed as mentioned in the first review. Hand off the trigger to set and a thumb to go live. Just take note, world. Now I'm bigging up this rifle, and to be honest, it feels that I'm trying to justify a purchase to myself. But the RM8 does have its flaws. It's too heavy a shout, yeah it is, but that's what a sling's for when lugging it around the field. Problem solved. As for fatigue when standing, actually it's not so bad when you adapt yourself to the rifle. You see, if you don't rotate your wrist when you artillery hold it, then the rifle's weight is transferred much better through your wrist and forehand. It's also balanced well enough to aid this style of hold, allowing you to focus on the shot for longer. I'm not done yet on this either, because those lovely bumps and lumps play a role here too. They fit my skinny engineer's hands beautifully. So the flaw of weight is not one that bothers me, and let's be honest, after being a dad for 2 years with a stubborn tantrum monster, a workout wouldn't hurt me. So come on then, what are the flaws if not weight? I believe that hammer bounce occurs on the RM8, as it does fart when coupled with a good quality moderator such as my Virar. But it's still on the quiet side. Let's just say it's a woman's fart. So when not using a moderator, the bark from the muzzle masks the said fart. The bounce, if indeed that's what it is, doesn't seem to hurt the shot count. Now I'm getting about 160 shots per fill, however the first 55 or so are a bit wild, but only a discerning customer may see this. The first 32ish bar I've been filling to 200. This is the first 32ish bar, so I've been filling to 200 bar and given myself only 105 or so shots, which is more than enough for a hunt, but very consistent. One thing I did see with the RM8 was the buddy bottle retains a lot of heat during filling, even when taking time with a pump. Initially I suspected a leak, as 230 bar would drop to 210 bar within a few hours, but filling with a diving bottle and checking the heat of the bottle and then retopping back to 230 bar, I found that it held its charge as it should, so the loss of air was due to heat changes inside the bottle. You may just want to keep an eye on this. The trigger is also a constant niggle to me. A little creep seems to set in after every few hundred shots. It's only slightly, but it's enough to have me check it each time I clean it down. And I can't decide if it's just bedding in, or if it's wear, or if it's just me. Again, time will tell, but it's something I'd like to sort out. I'd also like a second screw to get some final sear adjustment on it and lighten things up a bit, which was a bit of a niggle with the other Walther in my collection. Fear not though, as these niggles, they don't affect the accuracy one little bit. So, in reflection, is the trigger a flaw? It's subjective really. Some will like it, others will go over the top with it, but I'm going to sit on the fence. What about the cycling issue of the magazine I mentioned in review 1? Well, I'd like to thank all the comments posted on this, and I used them to formulate my own method. When I wipe the rifle down after use with some protection oil, I rub the magazine in the rag to lube it up a bit, and this has cured the notchy feed. I also have to mention that the Lee Enfield 303 clunky action is still there, but I really like this as it gives a little character to the rifle. So again, is it a flaw? Well, again, it's subjective, but the bolt itself does need a good oiling to stop rust creeping in after use. Again, this is a manageable niggle. My biggest gripe is the 8-shot magazine. I'd like 10 really, so I don't have to carry a spare tin with me. But as they sell spare magazines for this rifle, readily and cheaply, and they're also a robust design, problem solved. Finally, the soft touch plastic coating has held up with no issues to feedback. There's no scratches or punctures of peeling, it's not a problem so far. Maybe we'll check back in a year's time to see how the hog's getting on. So really, all the hog's niggles are fairly minor, and I have to ask myself, am I looking for them? Delivery. Well, you all watched the 2.2 pellet reviews I hope, and therein lies the evidence that the accuracy is not to be questioned. If you haven't seen them, then start watching them and the RM8's accuracy will become clear. There was one thing on accuracy I'd not looked at or even considered, and this is part of the reason that this review is so late, and this is the barrel weight itself and how it affects the accuracy. Now this needed testing as it's a removable item, and I removed mine thoughtlessly for aesthetic reasons, but to what end? So, armed with a bluing friendly tape, I shoot 2 groups off a bag and display the results for you to decide. Do you want to go for aesthetics or do you want to go for accuracy? Summary. The fact is, no matter how you look at it, the RM8 in either beech or soft touch, because camo versions are now also available. It's a well-priced, well-packaged rifle that delivers accuracy with typical German efficiency. It's heavy-boned, but typical air gunner attachments and changes in hold position will hide this. The load cycle wears in eventually, and the notchy feed gets reduced to acceptable levels, and it's most likely going to be the case for this trigger creep that I've been talking about. Should I tell you to park cash for one then? No. Just go to the shop with a list of rifles and find out for yourself as to why I think this sets a benchmark for this price range. As always, feel free to comment, don't troll, check out the Facebook page for goings on and sneak peeks, stay safe and shoot straight. Goodbye. What's that you got there? Yeah, what's that? Is that?
No.
Get it back out.
No,
Is it
in good time. No, 177.
177?
Yeah.
I can see. How'd you get that? Who you been stuck in it?
No, you'll just do
Oh, show us.
No, time will tell. You'll see. You'll see.
It is what I think it is, though, isn't it?
Depends what you think it is. But yeah, probably.
Cute.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Let's game on.